Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love, and today we're gonna be making keto bread toasties. So they're like a crostini, but we could either or. Toasties or crostinis, it's the same thing. So I'm gonna walk you through step by step on how to make the bread, and then I will show you the additional steps to make them into little toasties. So I will link in the description down below, I will link the bread recipe in case you don't want them to be little toasties and you just want to make them into either dinner rolls or kind of like the bolillo bread. This is the closest thing that you're gonna get to when it comes to a keto recipe. Okay, so now we're gonna go over our ingredients. So we'll start off with the almond flour. You will need 1 1/4 cups of almond flour, and if you like to weigh out your ingredients, then it'll be 4.5 ounces. And then our psyllium husk. So I'm using whole psyllium husk. If you use whole psyllium husk, you'll want to do 9 tablespoons. If you're using powdered psyllium husk, you can do 5. All in all, you just want to measure out, if you're weighing it, between 45 and 50 grams of psyllium husk. Okay, so whether it's ground or whole, that's the measurement you need, 45 to 50. Okay, now egg whites. 3 egg whites. I'm using liquid egg whites, so I did 9 tablespoons of egg whites. And again, you can measure that out, but 3 regular egg whites is what you'll need. Then the baking powder, we need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and I use a little bit of yeast for the bread, you know, that yeasty taste in the bread. And last but not least, we need our water. You will need boiling hot water. Okay, so now let's start mixing. We're gonna put our almond flour in and our psyllium husk. We'll put all the dry ingredients first, so then they're well incorporated before we add our mixture. So those are little yeast, our little salt. Come on, salt. Okay, now I'll just mix it with this because, you know, savage life. And then we're gonna put our hot water. Let's go ahead and I'll just put the apple cider vinegar in. We'll put our egg whites. And now let's grab our hot water. Okay, so now we have our boiling hot water. 1 cup. Pour that in there. And remember, you can mix this by hand or with a hand mixer. Now we're just gonna mix all this up. And you will see our little bread dough form. So excited. I love bread. I don't know about you guys, but I love bread. Okay, so this is pretty much done here. And as you can see, our dough is a little wet. Not so much, but we're going to scrape off the edges, and then I will show you when we form our little ball. Okay. You know, we can't waste precious dough. We cannot waste dough. Okay, so we're gonna just scrape the edges, like so. And here is our little bread dough. See that? And if you notice that it's a little sticky, obviously with time you need to let it sit for a couple of minutes and it'll absorb. Okay, so this is our dough. We're going to cut it in half and we're gonna roll it out. So you can roll it out with your hands or, you know, just however you want. Okay, so you see how that one's long and skinny. I just had to wet my hands a little so that the dough is more manageable. It's probably going to be longer. It feels like it has a little bit more dough. But anyway, we want them to be skinny because they're going to be bite size. But if you want them to be more like the, you know, thicker, like a thicker, bigger piece of toast, then you just form your dough to be a little bit fatter. So it would be like a little fatter. And, you know, just whatever size you want, you're gonna make it. But anyway, this looks about right. And now we are going to bake this for 50 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay. And here are our little bread logs. And now we're gonna let them cool, and I will show you what the next step is. Okay, so now that your bread is out of the oven and you've let it cool for a bit, now we're going to cut it. And again, this is for, you know, yourself, so you're just gonna cut it as thick or as thin as you'd like. So I'm just gonna continue cutting all this, both little rolls, and I will show you what it should look like once we're done. Okay, so this is what it should look like once it's all cut up. And now we're going to spread it across so that they evenly bake and get crispy. Okay, so now that our bread is all chopped up into these little tiny toasties, we're gonna put them in the oven at 350 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. Obviously you wanna keep an eye on them because you don't want them to burn. And once they're crispy enough, you shut the oven off, and then you're just gonna let them basically cool in there. And what that does is make them like extra crispy. We're gonna place them on our little plate. We have our dip already set out. So now we're just going to place these here, and these are gonna be our dippers. And you can use these on a charcuterie board. You can use these to eat chicken salad, tuna salad, I mean, really, whatever you usually use chips for, you can use these little toasties for. And I'll leave them like that. And you're done. Are you ready for this jalapeno cheese dip?
Okay, so we're doing the crunch test.
Ready? Oh.
Whoa. You guys have to try this.
Crispy?
Very
Crunchy?
crispy. I really like the cheese.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. This is one of my favorite keto recipes because you can't even tell it's keto. So make sure that you guys go make a batch, tag me on your stories so that I can share it on my stories on Instagram. And of course, until next time, I love you and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah!